Coming up tonight on Fox First at 10, one man is lucky to be alive, and it's all thanks to his wife. What she did to give him a fighting chance when he suddenly stopped breathing. Plus, Spokane County Sheriff's deputies were arresting this man for one thing, but now he's under investigation for something completely different. What they say they found in his home tonight at 10.
This is Fox First at 10.
Our prayers are with you. And I assure you, the one you lost will always be with you. Always be with you. And the day will come when their memory brings a smile to your lips before it brings a tear to your eye.
President Biden today offering his condolences and comfort to the Atlanta community, mourning the deaths of 8 people killed in a series of shootings at 3 Asian spas and massage parlors. Good evening. I'm Claire Graham. Tonight, all of the 8 people killed in those shootings have been identified. 6 of them were Asian women, 2 of Chinese descent, 4 of Korean descent. While police now say they don't consider this attack a hate crime, it does follow a string of other attacks targeting Asian Americans. Tonight, flags in Spokane are flying at half-staff in honor of the 8 killed. Tomorrow, the Spokane community is coming together to remember them and take a stand to stop the hate. Austin Getz joins us now with the story. Austin?
That's right, Claire. Tomorrow evening, a candlelight vigil will be held here at Riverfront Park in remembrance of those 8 people killed. Organizers want to honor them in remembrance, or excuse me, in the aftermath of an attack that they say is indicative of growing discrimination around the country.
Racism is real in America, and it has always been. Xenophobia is real in America, and always has been. Sexism, too.
Both Vice President Kamala Harris and President Joe Biden today further condemning the killing of 8 people in Georgia on Tuesday. And while investigators have not given an official motive for the crime, many are pointing to the fact that 6 of the 8 victims were women of Asian descent as a sign that this was a targeted attack on Asian Americans. A trend that some say points to a rise in anti-Asian discrimination in the United States over the past year.
The racism and rhetoric that we were hearing about the coronavirus, that it was started in China, that's the Chinese virus, that's the Kung flu, that just kind of spiraled into a lot of hate speech against Asians.
Vina Cathcart, one of the founders of Spokane United We Stand, says that for many in the Asian American Pacific Islander community, this past year during the coronavirus pandemic has brought forth a wave of anti-Asian sentiment, which she says she experienced herself in a Spokane grocery store.
And I was walking through the aisle and I turned into this one aisle with another woman, and she was on the phone and she was saying into her phone, "Oh my gosh, an Asian woman just walked into this aisle. I'm gonna die of corona." I was shocked. I was angry. I didn't know how to respond.
The group hoped that events like Saturday's vigil, where people are expected to speak and share their own experiences facing discrimination, as well as remembering the 8 victims, can lead towards greater unity for all Americans of all races.
I don't want these victims to die in vain. I want these victims to be honored and remembered. And I want them to be remembered as people who were able to start a conversation. And how do we start talking about race without attacking each other?
And Claire, that candlelight vigil is expected to begin here at Riverfront Park tomorrow night between 4:30 and 5 p.m. Organizers are asking people that want to attend to wear black, wear a mask, and stay socially distant. At Riverfront Park tonight, Austin Getz, Fox First at 10.
Austin, thank you. And today, Spokane Mayor Nadine Woodward shared a statement about the Atlanta attacks, saying, quote, "Spokane sends its deepest sympathies and condolences to all those touched by the devastating tragedy in the Atlanta metropolitan area." She has ordered flags to stay lowered until Monday night. Right now, a common adjustment that most people have made during the pandemic is leading to a spike in a new problem. While most businesses sent employees to work from home to stay safe nationwide, that's now left many vulnerable to hackers. A new report shows ransomware attacks have gone up by 90% this year, and cloud-based attacks have more than doubled. This week, a grand jury in Western Washington indicted a hacker from halfway around the world for getting into the online systems of the Washington State Department of Transportation and a Spokane company that specializes in protecting businesses from hackers. Stephen Health, their chief information security officer, says there are steps, though, that you can take to stay safe.
It's, set it up with, a strong password, strong username, do all that sort of thing, turn on two-factor authentication.
Now, he says much like locking your car doors, keeping your information safe will help to deter thieves if you just lock your car door or do the online equivalent, which is setting up safe security. We do have new information tonight about a surge in fentanyl seen across eastern Washington. Tonight, 2 members of a Mexican drug cartel are now headed to federal prison for funneling the drugs into our area. A judge has sentenced Josue Medina Perez and Francisco Delgado to 10 years for handing out some 10,000 pills a week starting as far back as 2017. They were made to look like prescription drugs but were laced with fentanyl. Once these 2 get out of prison, they'll each spend 5 years on probation. In a crime tracker alert, tonight a man's in the Spokane County Jail for not just the malicious mischief charges he was initially arrested for. He's now facing child porn charges as well because of an unexpected twist. Spokane County Sheriff's deputies say they were taking 67-year-old Gerald Fox to jail. When they asked him if he'd like to lock up his home first, Fox told the deputies they could go inside and grab his keys, but as they did, they spotted pornographic pictures of kids just sitting out, which set a new investigation into motion. Deputies say they now think Fox has been involved in child porn for the last few years throughout the Spokane area. If you have any information about him, you should give the sheriff's office a call. Right now, we are starting to feel like spring outside, but the North Cascades Highway seems to be stuck in winter. The Department of Transportation shared this picture today showing 7 feet of snow sitting on the highway. Crews have been out inspecting it this week, but there's still no timetable for when it will be back open.
Hold on. Stay on this picture for a second. Look at that, Claire.
I know. That's the
highway sign on the right-hand side. That is like the highway sign.
Yeah, that you drive by usually.
9 feet tall. Yeah.
Wild.
Incredible photo there. The good thing about that picture, and what I see when I look at that picture, is snowpack still up in the mountains. And hopefully, again, it stays there for a while. And you know what helps keeping the snowpack there? Cooler temperatures. So again, a silver lining to everything in the weather. And that's what we're seeing out there, of course, today. A big cool down after a cold front moved through last night and early this morning. At about this time, we were tracking that cold front last night. Now we're behind the front, had some showers this afternoon, and still seeing a little bit of activity just east of the Cascades. In fact, some of our forecast models showing that this area of low pressure spinning off the coast, still trying to push in a few showers overnight tonight, although I'm not completely sold on that idea. It's not out of the question. We might still wake up to maybe a few rain showers out there to start off our first day of spring tomorrow. But the big story tonight, again, how much cooler it is. Already down into the 30s, near freezing already in Coeur d'Alene, and by tomorrow morning, most of us will be in the low to mid 30s. So if a little band of showers does come through, can't rule out maybe some little bit of rain snow mix early in the day tomorrow, although I think we start off the day on Saturday, Claire, generally dry. It's the afternoon that we could get some showers and maybe even some thunderstorms. Right now, Sunday looking a little bit drier. I'm tracking that storm chance back in a few minutes.
All right, Blake, thank you. In the fight to contain the coronavirus, some lawmakers in Idaho seem to be having trouble. As the House works to pass a bill that would ban local governments from being able to order mask mandates, they've hit a hiccup. Both the Idaho House and Senate have been forced to go into a recess because of a COVID outbreak. 5 members of the House from eastern Idaho and the Boise area have tested positive, so they've closed to stop the virus from spreading. The Republican leaders in both chambers have not required masks for the last session, and the House Speaker says he doesn't regret it. The Democratic minority leaders released a joint statement today apologizing that it took 5 people getting sick for lawmakers to want to do something. Tonight, sending kids back to school is getting a little easier. The CDC is now changing its guidelines on social distancing in schools from staying 6 feet apart to 3 feet apart, as long as everyone is wearing masks. A recent study found the virus spreads at about the same speed in schools doing 3 feet compared to 6 feet. So the CDC says 3 feet should be okay as long as the school buildings are properly ventilated and again, students and staff members are wearing masks. The change should be able to essentially double the number of students who can be in classrooms at once, but local districts aren't jumping on this quite yet. Both Meade and Spokane Public Schools say they won't be making any changes unless the Washington State Department of Health also recommends this. As our local basketball teams get closer to starting their drive for the title, Gonzaga is just 6 wins away from becoming the first undefeated national champions since Indiana in 1976. Oddly enough, their whole tournament run is happening in the Hoosier State, which is where Dennis Patchin caught up with some basketball fans in Bloomington.
1976. For many of you, that was pre-you. For an Indiana fan, it's one of 5 national titles for the Hoosiers. But this one is special. 32-0 special, the last unbeaten team to win it all. There's a banner in Assembly Hall, and there's a monument outside to Benson and Buckner, Wilkerson, May, and the rest. And Hoosier fans want nothing to do with Gonzaga winning it as unbeaten national champs.
Yeah, I would be outraged. Are you kidding me? Indiana men's basketball is where it's at. Let's go, Hoosiers.
I would be. Why? I don't know. I don't know why.
That's the rub. It really won't take anything away from the unbeaten team in '76. Hoosier fans just don't want to share. Okay, they'd rather have the Zags win it than, say, someone like Illinois or Michigan or Purdue.
Another Big Ten team not winning it would maybe be a good thing, just for some rivalries.
Did I say rival? Purdue?
Well, if it's not Purdue, then yeah, I'd like it to be Gonzaga.
Like it to be Gonzaga. All right, Dennis Patchin reporting for us there. So coming up later in the show tonight, we'll take a look at what Gonzaga is expecting, or rather not expecting, in their upcoming matchup tomorrow night against Norfolk State. Sharing the good tonight, there's something going on at Holy Family Hospital in Spokane that's giving people who work on the second floor a very unique glimmer of hope in what's been a really hard year.
They're all stretched out as far as their delivery dates, thank goodness.
Second floor of the hospital is labor and delivery, and 12 of the nurses are either pregnant or have just had a baby. Nurse Sarah was the first of the 12 to deliver. She says sharing the experience with her fellow nurses and having them help bring her son Canyon into the world is something she'll never forget.
People that you work with kind of become, you know, like family and your friends. It just makes the moments that you experience while you're there even more special.
All 12 moms say the line between friends, family, and fellow nurse has started to blend, so they're all just grateful they have each other. Pretty amazing. All right, there's so much more to come here tonight on Fox First at 10. Police are searching for a man who brutally attacked a fast food worker who asked him to put on a mask. A simple disagreement that took a shocking turn. And in the Fox Find, one man is lucky to be alive, and it's all thanks to his wife, how she gave him a fighting chance when he suddenly collapsed. But first, Blake is back with your full weather forecast. That's next.
Let me try that again.
On the next Modern Family. Tonight at 10:30 on Fox 28.
Coming up on Monday, we are your home for March Madness. We have reporters in both locations getting you ready for the big day of action. See you Monday on Good Day.
There is one asset the government has allowed you to retain.
The kids.
And welcome back. Time for a look at that weather forecast. But I want to start here because we had some pretty awesome spring weather for our last day of winter today. And when I say spring weather, and you know spring in the Inland Northwest means just about everything can happen in one day. And that's what we were seeing this afternoon. Corey Miller in Rosalia sent in that wonderful picture of some grapple. I know that we talk about this every time that it happens, and people still don't really fully know what grapple is, but it looks like a hailstone, feels like a snowflake. That's kind of how you can determine what grapple is. So a great picture there from Corey. And then I was able to quickly snag a shot downtown Spokane. Hard to see, but a rainbow out there right there on the lower South Hill earlier this afternoon. Perfect rainbow conditions today because we had that combination of sunshine and showers, which is so typical in spring here in the Inland Northwest, and looks to be a lot like what we can expect for our Saturday as well. Showers earlier today, those decreasing now overnight tonight, but as I mentioned, condition might get one little band working its way through into early tomorrow morning. Generally speaking, I think we start off our Saturday dry. It's as we go into the afternoon, we might start to have a few issues, and not just those hit and miss spring showers like we had this afternoon. There is a very small chance that we could even see some isolated thunderstorms developing, especially across parts of the Palouse and the southern panhandle of Idaho. We'll get to more on that here in just a second, but that would be an exciting way to welcome in the spring season. Also spring, right? If spring, it wouldn't be spring if we weren't talking about maybe also the chance for some snow. That could happen as we go into the start of next week. A little bit of everything out there for us. 41 degrees, the current temperature in downtown Spokane. South wind coming in about 8 miles per hour at the moment. But the big change here, the temperatures, notice already down into the mid-30s in the northern panhandle. Look at this. From this time yesterday, it is 15 to 20 degrees cooler in just one night. All thanks to that cold front that's now to the east of us. But you can see all that cold air behind the front that is now settling in over the top of us. The main source of moisture out of the way, but with cold air up in the atmosphere, that's where we start to get those very unstable conditions that lead to those afternoon showers. And that's, again, what we could see by tomorrow. Dry at the moment, but let's get into the futurecast and take a look at what we can expect going into our Saturday. Watch as we go into early tomorrow morning. Here's that little band that they keep trying to bring through here on the forecast models. Maybe a few showers. If we get it, it would be for about an hour. Then it turns over to snow as it moves up into the mountains. Generally, we start the day off dry, but by midday, notice clouds filling in. And then as we get into the afternoon, there it is right there. We start seeing those individual cells developing, and a slight chance for some of those to turn into thunderstorms. At the very least, we get some brief, kind of quick moving, heavy downpours of rain, and maybe even some more graupel and some more rainbows out there as well. So right now, it looks like isolated thunderstorms a possibility. Again, brief chances for some heavy downpours of rain, and not really looking at much lightning, but we'll keep you posted. Temperatures, again, a little bit cooler than today, back into the 50s. And even cooler still by Sunday, a bit breezy as well, both tomorrow and Sunday, Claire. As we get into next week, there's that chance for some snow. I know you're not happy with me about that, but it would just be in the morning and it would melt by the afternoon. Okay?
Good. I'll sleep in.
Okay. Good. Glad we're clear.
Yeah. So with the start of March Madness fast approaching, in any other year, thousands of fans would be swarming the stadiums to watch their favorite teams play. This year, though, the crowds are very limited, if you can even call them crowds. As Dennis Patchin reports for us, Gonzaga has played the vast majority of their games this season in front of nearly empty seats.
We had a few games yesterday with the first 4 games. We've got plenty more games today with games all over the state of Indiana, including behind me at the Lucas Oil Dome. And that's going to mean fans. There'll be about 5,000 to 7,000 fans for each of the 2 games in the Lucas Oil Dome, and could be more later for the Final Four. For head coach Mark Few, his team has played in empty buildings and buildings with just family and friends. He says the extra people is going to bring some juice to his team.
We got a lot of great fans and supporters that have helped us grow this program, and they haven't been able to watch us at all. And I know they're excited to get to the games here and support us, and I'm kind of happy for them also. So I think it'll be fun. I mean, I think who knows? I think we're going to be in the state of Indiana, so I don't think anybody's rooting for us here with everything that was on the line and all that stuff, but that's fine too. Just any emotion is better than no emotion.
The Zags will play tomorrow night. The Eagles won't have to wait that long. They play tomorrow morning Spokane time. And for Shante Legans, the head coach of the Eastern Washington Eagles, he's excited for his team to be here. But he's been telling them all week, don't be just happy to be here.
We're going to do everything we can to beat Kansas, and that's been our goal, is to get to the NCAA tournament. But our goal wasn't just to get here. We want to go and try to win. And we've seen other teams. We've talked about Loyola Chicago. We've talked about George Mason. I brought up all the small schools that have done really well in it. So they're not thinking they're going in there thinking they're going to lose. So that's the best part about my team, is they really do believe the message we're sending, and we're excited about the opportunity to play against one of the blue bloods of college basketball.
So it's the Eagles in the morning and the Zags in the evening. We've been waiting more than a year for the dance to start. For these 2 local teams, it begins tomorrow. In Indianapolis, I'm Dennis Patchin.
Welcome back to Fox First at 10. Tonight, police in Texas are searching for a man who violently attacked a manager at a fast food restaurant who asked him to put on a mask. Police say 53-year-old James Scholes went into the Jack in the Box without a mask on, so the manager showed him the store's written policy and told him he either needed to put one on or use the drive-thru. But surveillance video then showed him escorting Scholes out the door, and once he turned his back, Scholes then came back inside, ran up to the manager and stabbed him several times with a pocket knife.
The male belligerently refused and said they did not want to serve him because he was homeless, and began yelling that he would be contacting his attorney as he was filming with the cell phone.
Paramedics found the manager and rushed him to the hospital, where he was treated and then released. Officers are warning Scholes is likely still carrying the pocket knife he used in the stabbing, so they are hoping to find him quickly. Tonight, a mother in Pennsylvania is facing charges for making deepfake videos to harass her daughter's cheerleading teammates. Police say 50-year-old Rafaela Spohn made fake videos of 3 girls where it looked like they were vaping and drinking, which could have gotten them kicked off their cheerleading squad. Detectives say Spohn also created photos where the girls appeared to be naked and sent one of them voicemails telling the girl to kill herself. The harassment started last summer, but officers recently searched Spohn's phone and found the videos, which led to her arrest. Local prosecutors say it goes to show parents need to be on guard for this new kind of technology.
Frankly, it's pretty difficult to back from somebody that wants to alter an image that's put out there on social media. But we have to be very vigilant and make sure that our children are being protected constantly.
The cheerleading team involved says they have a strict anti-bullying policy, and the girls involved are no longer in their program. Coming up in the Fox Find, a woman is the reason her husband is alive. Why doctors say what she did was so incredible. Next. Hey there, and the Fox Find tonight. A man in Las Vegas is lucky to be alive, and doctors say it's all thanks to his wife. Veronica Simon had been at home when she found her husband, Michael, passed out in their garage. He was gasping for air, so she ran over to him, called 911, and started giving him CPR and chest compressions for the next 9 minutes until paramedics came and rushed him to the hospital. Incredibly, she had just been recertified 4 days earlier, but unlike the previous times she had taken the classes, this time, for some reason, she says she took it seriously and really paid attention.
I really was into it for some reason. I just, any other time I get certified, I'm like, okay, I'm getting it done, but this time I was really into it, and I was really practicing hard because I just felt like, maybe one day I'll save a life. And I happened to save my husband's.
In the ER, doctors had to shock Michael twice, but they revived him. His doctor says without his wife's quick thinking, though, that wouldn't have been possible.
100%, I think that what she did has saved her husband's life in this situation. And that's a long time to be doing CPR. In the hospital, we rotate out every 2 minutes because you get so tired. So I'm impressed that she was able to do that.
We've been together for 19 years, so it's been a long road for us. And this was just one of those times where it really, at least in my opinion, it brought us closer than ever before. So.
Wow, pretty incredible. Well, their family says that they are just glad that he is recovering home from the hospital and doing great. Gotta learn CPR. All right, coming up in the hot spot tonight, there are shocking new allegations against a popular actor. The details next. Hey there, in the hot spot tonight, there are shocking new allegations against the actor Armie Hammer. A 24-year-old woman says in 2017, the Lone Ranger star violently raped her for more than 4 hours, where he repeatedly hit her head against a wall. In a press conference, her lawyer, Gloria Allred, said the woman thought Hammer was going to kill her. She says the two met on Facebook in 2016 and dated on and off for the next 4 years, even though the actor was married. His attorney responded to the allegations, releasing pictures of graphic texts, which he says the woman sent last year, telling Hammer what she wanted him to do to her. Police have now launched an investigation into her accusations. We are getting some new details tonight about the upcoming 2021 Oscar ceremony. The Academy now says the event will be aired live and in person, so no zooming in will be allowed. Producers for the award show have now notified everyone who has been nominated, asking them to physically attend the event and avoid casual attire. The Academy is planning to have an on-site COVID safety team. They'll be doing testing, and only people who are nominated, their guests, and the presenters will be allowed to go. The Academy says it will accept any awards for the stars who can't make it. So he may be back on the dating scene, but Kanye West is now worth billions. The 43-year-old rapper turned fashion mogul is now worth just over $6.5 billion. Most of the money is tied to his clothing business. Between his Yeezy sneakers partnership with Adidas and his clothing line with Gap, his music catalog is only worth about $110 million. West just recently became a billionaire last April, but the latest valuation made it 6 times over. It's a lot of money. All right, don't go anywhere. We're back with one last look at your weather after this.
Advanced weather technology. Pinpoint weather where you live. Fox, first at 10.
Well, by the time most of us wake up tomorrow morning, it will be spring and feeling like it as well. Mostly cloudy skies, maybe some sun breaks mid-morning tomorrow, but those sun breaks filling in quickly, and then chances for some hit-and-miss showers, although remember, those might be some thunder showers out there in the afternoon, so that would be quite the start to the spring season. Certainly, of course, spring thunderstorm season as well would be a nice way to get things cracking for us, literally. Sunday looking drier, but still a bit breezy out there for us. And then as we get into the start of next week, another cold front might even bring some wet snow Monday morning. Claire, wouldn't be spring without just a little bit of everything.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.